Like, the windmill was basically this complete non-joke. And I feel like it was such a non-joke that people wanted to fit, like people didn't accept that there was just nothing. There was just no joke at all.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Wait, what?
Seconds until minions spawn.
Killing a few things might loosen us up.
What?
Surpass the frailty of your form.
I do not want my
Thank you,
land
Ultra
taken.
Mega
I want them
9669.
unruly and free.
Anyway, I think that so many people got confused. And so many people wanted to understand the windmill that so many people kept coming to my stream. I mean, I could mid.
You ready, Scarl? This day is gonna require some mind-blowing weirdness.
I feel like I still need to go conquer KLED into most of these matchups. Just because KLED will eventually reach a point in his kit, like in the game progression, where he just doesn't deal damage anymore. And you don't want to be KLED when you don't deal damage. Not really a good spot to be in. Why would you go W second?
Yeah. Invade Ionia, you said. It'll be fine, you said. Fine, you said.
An ally has been slain.
Oh, that's bad. I'm gonna drink that potion just because I don't want him to randomly dismount me right now.
An enemy has been slain.
I don't feel like my sound is just really low in game. Like 100.
I know.
This is actually like pretty much the perfect remount. The only thing that could fuck me up right now is a 3-man dive.
When you see us,
It's too late.
Okay, I'm a bit confused how that W went off against me, but okay.
This here land is mine. Easy, girl. Baby.
He dead anyway? Yeah, he's dead anyway.
Ain't much I love. Only this big sky and this dumb lizard.
They will greet you as heroes.
It's something that a lot of people don't realize when you're fighting JAX is that I think BD Midge. You can just play the numbers, and by the numbers, he basically can't all-in anyone after like level 3. It's like he's got a decent burst combo, but as far as all-inning, as far as going all in and trying to murder people, no, he can't do that. His numbers are just too shit. Okay, we're back. Oh, my light's not on.
Has been slain.
There we go.
It's your birthday, Scarl. Let's bake a murder cake.
Why did Heroes of Newerth die? Okay, so basically League of Legends and Heroes of Newerth were both games, and Heroes of Newerth was generally considered the better of the two. Now, Heroes of Newerth was in, quote, open beta, and that meant that it was free, right? And that was fine. So both games were basically free. But then Heroes of Newerth came out and said, we're out of beta, now the game costs money.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
And when it went from being free, because it was in beta, when it went from being free to suddenly you had to pay for the game, there was a lot of people who didn't want to pay the game, who either that day, that week, or, you know, forever, would go play League of Legends and say, oh, Heroes of Newerth isn't free. Oh, I don't have money. Oh, I don't want to buy it. You know, something like that. And so they'd go play League of Legends. Even with that in mind, though, and this is important, even with that in mind, Twitch chat, it was still the League of Legends was still the less popular game for quite some time. If you looked at things like Steam stats, if you looked at things like Steam streams, all that stuff pointed, and it was very fucky. Let's call it fucky, because there wasn't like you could get stats at the time. Just to be clear. But when you looked at all the numbers, when you looked at things like X-Fire, do you guys remember X-Fire? X-Fire had numbers for what games people were playing, and it was X-Fire was very popular back then. Everyone had it. When you looked at X-Fire, the numbers were always, Heroes of Newerth had like double the numbers of League of Legends.
I do prefer to ride into battle.
It wasn't even close. But slowly and surely, League was like, okay, Heroes of Newerth is double League. Okay, it's 50% more than League. Okay, it's equal to League. Okay, it's only a little bit behind League. And it was just like this slow grind. I put a point to E instead of W on accident. Oh well.
Enemy has been slain.
This ends where I say it ends.
I wouldn't say it was any skin that changed the game. I would say what happened to League is A, they were better at publicity. B, they used Katarina's boobs a lot in advertising. Something people don't know is that, you know those shitty games? You know when you go to Pirate Bay and you see one of those shitty games like, She Can't Wait for You, Master, and it has like the very overt sexualized ad. That was League of Legends for a long time.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
League of Legends advertising for a very long time was Katarina's boobs.
An ally has been
And that's something that I think a lot of people forget. It was a free-to-play game advertising with Katarina's boobs.
No! Bad Scarl!
An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh, that's bad. I might be actually be dead here.
I ain't been a mister since ever.
Okay, he's just too far behind to make a play, unfortunately.
But I still hear him. Shut up.
What? Yeah, I mean, maybe smokescreen her? Not me? Gran, you haven't responded to me on Steam in like 2 days. Gren, I messaged you like 3 times. You're like, hey, respond to my offers. I'm like, okay, Gren, here's my response. And you're like, huh? I'm like, Gren, here's my response. And you're like, huh?
No! Planning and strategy, but that's city folk stuff.
Gren, that is the worst response. Oh my god, okay. I mean, if he's trying to creep up behind me, I suspect that Katarina's there. If not, I don't know.
Sky's my roof, the open plains are my bed, and this lizard is the only company I need.
Worth it.
Yes, a sane man would run, but I ain't the running kind.
Am I the only person that when I hear Blizzard thinks of mediocre product with very good... What do you want to call it? Bells and whistles?
But I'm gonna defend you. No!
Blizzard makes very, very well-made games. Very well-made. Good cinematics. They make good, what do you want to call it? Yeah, no innovation. Very safe gameplay. Very safe mechanics. Nothing that makes you have to think really hard. Not quite casual. Not exactly hard, though. Where the fuck did this JAX go?
What are you whining about? I already fed you half.
StarCraft 2 as compared to StarCraft 1 was so easy. Not only that, they made all these small decisions. No innovation. Here's a swarm broke the MOBA pattern. No, they didn't. They just removed shit about the game, and then you said, oh, it changed everything because we removed things from the game.
Yeah, they just
Was Jax seriously hiding in that brush waiting for me so that he could go proxy? It's kind of funny in a fucked up way.
a man without a weapon ain't worthless. You do come up with the best ideas.
You know what they should do for KLED? If they want KLED to be more viable, I actually have an idea. A small